Scottish fishing fleet arrives fresh from the shipyard. But the Chrysandra's maiden voyage is far from plain sailing. The Renown is a third of the size and 20 years old. Her skipper, James Buchan, hopes that old-fashioned skill can make up for that. While on the Amity, sleepless nights add to the danger for skipper Jimmy Buchan and his crew. There aren't many skippers left like James Buchan. He uses a fishing technique that's survived since the days of sailing ships. Handed down through generations, it's a skill that few fishermen still have. It's called seine net fishing.
Seine net fishing is very labor intensive. It's very old-fashioned way of fishing. It's something that my father taught me. He did it all his life, but there's very few of us left.
Fishing with the seine net is a very precise art. It uses 2-mile-long ropes with a small net between them. The ropes are cast in a big circle. As they drag along the seabed, they scare the fish into the net behind them. Unlike the bigger nets of the trawlers, the seine net has to be cast in exactly the right place to catch any fish. It's this challenge that appeals to James.
There is like a bit of sport in the seine net fishing. You can't literally keep shooting and hauling, hoping you catch some fish at this job. You really have to find them first and catch them.
As he sets off in search of haddock, James has only his hunter's instincts to guide him. Also setting sail is the Chrysandra. At over 70 meters, she's the biggest boat in the Scottish fleet. Her maiden voyage is a big moment for skipper Willie Tate.
Oh, it's nice to get a new ship and get it all tried out and get it working properly. Checking that the engines and the fuel and everything is running the way it should be.
For Chrysandra's first trip, Willie is joined by his cousin and joint skipper, Peter Tate.
It is great getting a new boat. I mean, we've not fished yet, but we've had a few trials, and she's going to perform well, I think.
The Chrysandra cost £12 million to build. She has an 8,000 horsepower engine. On the bridge, there's over £500,000 worth of navigation and sonar equipment. The Chrysandra is designed to catch fish like mackerel that swim in shoals up to a mile long, far bigger than the shoals of whitefish or prawns. This is fishing on a massive scale. But the men who do it are driven by the same desire.
It's the same whitefish, prawn fishermen or pelagic fishermen, but it's in your blood that you want to go out there and find the fish.
Every year the mackerel they're hunting migrate 1,000 miles south from feeding grounds near Norway to deep water west of Ireland. By now the mackerel should be somewhere off the coast of Shetland, where Chrysandra's skippers hope to intercept them.
The plan is to go away to the west of Shetland, search there, and hopefully, if we get 400 tons plus, then I will be happy with that.
Everybody always likes to get the job done as quickly as possible, but sometimes it can't be done quickly. We will find them. We will find them.
It will take the Chrysandra 36 hours to hunt down her quarry. Back in Peterhead, skipper Jimmy Buchan is getting his prawn trawler Amity ready for her next trip.
Okay.
She's been laid up for a month. Jimmy's first mate Kevin is impatient to get back to sea.
It's been a while since we've been out. Must be a month since we've been fishing. Tied up for oil jobs and paint, and so we won't know what a prawn looks like when we catch it now. This is just like sewing. This melting the gear. My mother used to sew me trousers for me. Now I can sew hers.
Jimmy's search for prawns could take him almost anywhere in the North Sea.
We've left here and we're going to be going 70 miles out into the North Sea, which is, it's not quite in the middle, but I mean, you can see you've the Orkney and the Shetlands up here, you've got Norway here, and you've got Denmark here, so who knows where we will finish in the trip.
On the Renown, James has come to a patch of the North Sea where he knows from experience that the sea bottom is hard and rocky. It's the kind of area haddock like to feed in at this time of year.
It's a wee place where the fish come to spawn to lay their eggs, so it's very hard bottom. If we get the net from home, we've always got to go home to the area.
Seine net fishing can be very strenuous for the crew, but deckhand James Mackay enjoys the atmosphere on board the Renown.
The atmosphere aboard the boat is really good. Everyone gets on with each other. There's very few arguments. I've never really, and I don't think I've ever seen one aboard here. Everybody gets on. It's a good atmosphere. It makes the job a lot easier.
The way James runs his boat is based on his Christian faith.
Religion, I think, still plays a big part in a lot of the fishermen's makeup. There's no one aboard here that's more important than anyone else. Everyone knows their job, there's no swearing, there's no shouting. And it leads to a very happy working relationship with all load of us. The last thing you want is a crew shouting and swearing at one another.
Despite their best efforts, James's haul is disappointing.
There's not enough fish here. The fish are too small as well. We'll have to clear out. It maybe means 80-90 mile steam further north, but we'll have to go north into deeper water.
James has a trick up his sleeve. He knows another patch of rocky seabed that he's been keeping to himself for years. On the Amity, Jimmy's arrived at his first destination and he's cast his 2 nets to test it out. They've been towing for 15 miles, hoping there are prawns somewhere on the seabed.
Only mother of Moses. We'll be seeing prawns in our streets tonight, lads.
Jimmy's hit the jackpot first time. Their first haul yields as many prawns as they sometimes catch in a whole week.
Very good haul for the first one. We keep getting this all trip. Thumbs up.
The big haul of prawns means long hours of work for the crew to sort and pack them.
Couple of medium, John. It took us 6 hours to do that, because the prawns are awful small. If they were bigger, we'd have been quicker, but they're small prawns. If we keep getting this fishing for another 3 or 4 days, we're not going to have much sleep, because that's when fatigue comes into things, and that's when accidents happen aboard boats. So you have to be very careful.
After 7 hours' work, there's no time for a meal for the exhausted crew. Just tea and a sandwich before the next haul.
It's no favor. Massive haul last night. Massive. Big haul this night. We're falling asleep on our feet tonight. And we go for another 7 hours. We're not complaining yet, but 2 or 3 days into the trip, you might hear an odd moan here and there because we'll be getting tired.
On the Renown, James has spent the day steaming north to hunt for haddock at his secret fishing ground. This place has always been lucky for him, but there's bad news on the horizon. Someone else has got there first, and it's not just one boat, it's a pair. Towing a net half a mile long between them, these pair trawlers will have caught every mature fish in almost 10 square miles. There'll be nothing left for James's small seine net to catch. He tells the crew to stow the nets. His secret place has been found. Now the trawlers have disturbed the fish. It could be days before any come back.
We'll leave that for 7, 8 days. Give it a rest. Hopefully we'll gather again to spawn. As long as there's no one else fishes at them.
Undaunted, James sets off again to seek out new fishing grounds. After a day at sea, the Chrysandra's only halfway to the area where they hope to intercept a shoal of mackerel. It'll be at least another 18 hours before they even shoot their net. Plenty of time for Peter to get nervous about how the ship will perform on her first ever haul.
I mean, normally with first haul there will always be something going wrong because it's a new boat. The crew are all well trained, but they've never really shot the net here for real. So there will not definitely, but I would think there will be something going wrong.
The long journey has its compensations for Bruce Buchan, the ship's engineer.
Plenty time to sleep in it, and obviously sit in my cabin and watch my TV, listen to music and entertain myself somewhere. I've got my own cabin here with my own shower and toilet and I think run about my own fridge, stereo, satellite TV in here.
On the Renown, James is still looking for an area to fish. His first mate Bill Stevens cheers up the crew with his soup of the day.
Right, they ask for this every week. When are you going to make the fish soup? One boat, a long time ago when I was a young boy, I was just told you have to cook. Nobody else would do it, I was just told I had to do it, so I had to learn quick. Just give it a little steer, cook this for about 10-15 minutes, and then add a sup cream before we put it on the table. And the boys will be happy.
On the Chrysandra, dinner's another matter altogether. Lewis Duffy was trained in one of Scotland's top hotels.
It's a good boat to cook in, really. You've got everything you want. It's got a frying pan and a gimbal. It's got a deep fryer. Here, a griddle, big cooker. A walk-in fridge, a walk-in deep freeze, small fridge here. It's very good to cook in one of these boats. But you can't please everyone because there's 11 of a crew and there's always one that doesn't like it. So you never really please everyone, you can only please some of them.
On the Renown, they have to crawl under the table to get their dinner.
Right, girls, in you go. Folk think I just sit here myself.
But no one's complaining.
Chris is your favourite. Is that fun?
That's even better than my mum's best sense on there. You're always hoping there's more left in the pot.
In the wheelhouse, James has decided on his next move. The crew will have to be up before dawn. After 2 days at sea, the Chrysandra is about to be put to the test for the first time. They've found their shoal of migrating mackerel, and the picture on the sonar is promising.
It looks quite a good shoal at this moment in time.
The Chrysandra's high-tech fishing gear is second to none. The net itself is half a mile long. It's so big that just one haul could fill the boat. If all goes well, they hope to bag at least 400 tons of fish. On such a large vessel, coordination is crucial.
Alright, you put the bag away, George, whenever you're ready. What's happening? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Hello? Yeah, you're looking at me. Why isn't he looking at me?
The state-of-the-art communication system has failed, but Willie hasn't forgotten the old ways.
Hey! Whoa, yeah! Who's there looking? Who is there looking?
No sooner has the net hit the water, but it's clear an essential sonar device is missing. It's designed to feed data from the net directly back to the wheelhouse.
You think the net sonar was blind, so you kind of see how high your net is, where it is, if it's clear, if it's wide enough, if there's fish going in. You've got to take it back and fix it. Nothing really goes to plan first time.
The longer they take to get the nets out again, the further they'll be from the shoal of fish they're targeting. The mackerel are moving at over 5 knots.
They can move 60 mile in one night.
Probably be it.
That means you've got to try and find them again.
The Chrysandra's search continues. On the Amity, with yet another bumper haul, they're becoming victims of their own success.
Oh, she's heavy. More prawns. Another 7 hours work. This job is a bad job.
Jimmy's keen to keep fishing while the prawns are plentiful. He knows how unpredictable prawns can be. He could lose them at any time. But the crew have had only 3 hours sleep in 2 days.
So we're going to stop for a wee while and try and clear my feet. See if I can get the boys to get a few hours sleep in the morning. Because you just can't keep working night and day. There'll come a stage the body will collapse, so.
In the morning, they'll find out if the prawns are still there. On the Chrysandra, they've caught up with the shoal of mackerel. The sonar device has been fixed, and they're ready to shoot the nets again.
This is showing us how close the net is to the bottom, the shape of the net, and the fish going into the net. So any minute now, hopefully,
you'll see fish going off.
It'll be pretty full of fish.
We can see that it's a good shoal of fish.
It's a big
It's a good shoal of fish.
Nothing's left to chance. When the sonar tells them the net is full, it's winched up and attached to a massive pump. Unfamiliar with the new equipment, the crew have left the winch's brake on. Now it's overheating. Skipper Willie knows the fish will be damaged if they don't get them on board fast.
You could smell the brake, smell it down.
Smell the brake tight. Which,
once enlightening them that was happening, everything seemed to go a little bit better.
Despite the teething problems, the Chrysandra's first haul is even bigger than expected.
that's a good haul. Approximately 500 ton, which is fine size of haul for the first one. Well, it's a fine size of haul for the second one as well.
Just one haul has brought them 500 tons of fish. The mackerel are loaded into tanks of chilled seawater to keep them fresh for the trip home.
Homeward bound.
On the Renown, after a disappointing start to his trip, James is staking everything on a haul at a place known as the Graveyard. It's a patch of shallow water where two currents meet. It can be a dangerous place for shipping.
It's the graveyard, the area they call the graveyard, and there's a few vessels went down there. A lot of people lost their lives there.
Over the centuries, dozens of boats have sunk in the graveyard, many of them fishing boats, caught out by its exposed position and unpredictable seas. James knows that cod and haddock like to hide among the wreckage on the seabed.
Seem to get more chance of a cod or anything like that beside wreckage. I suppose they feel safe there. Somewhere for them to hide. If I was a fish, that's where I would stay. That's where I would be.
Catching the fish means casting his net dangerously close to the wrecks.
It's very, very high risk. Everything is just at the limit for getting her home. I mean, we've lost nets here before. We've broken ropes countless times in the same place of ground. But when you do get her home, it's usually worth it.
James's biggest fear is snagging the nets on the wreckage down below.
This is hard ground. That's the course that the boat is taking. We are on it. The wreck is here.
A powerful winch starts to wind the gear back aboard, dragging the net along the seabed as close to the wreckage as possible. Within minutes, the winch stops.
She's hard fast in the bottom. It's just about the breaking strain just now. So stand clear of the ropes. If she breaks at the roller, she'll come forward with so big a stretch and there's so much spring in the rope. Whatever it hits, it breaks. If you're standing there, it would kill you.
As James tries to free the net, the crew stand by under the shelter of the deck.
It's not looking good.
Chrysandra's on her way home to Peterhead. With their giant haul of mackerel safely on board, her skipper can relax at last.
My wife and daughter will be standing at the breakwater here waving us, coming in. That's a joke. Yeah.
The 500 tons of mackerel are no joke. At today's prices, they're worth over £300,000. They're pumped out of the ship's tanks and straight into the processing factory. The Chrysandra's work is done. On the Renown, James is still trying to free his fishing nets from a sunken wreck. For deckhand James Mackay, this haul has made the whole trip worthwhile.
That's made it good. For Ladbridge to really good.
In the end, James's gamble at the graveyard yields over £10,000 worth of cod and haddock.
Sleep well tonight.
No sleep for the crew yet. They've still got fish to gut, but a hymn helps keep their spirits up.
With Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. We go sailing home. Sailing home. Sailing, sailing home. With Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm.
On the Amity, they've had yet another lucrative haul of prawns.
It's going to be another 24 hours without a let off. How good is money in the bank if you can't enjoy it? Huh?
Oh dear.
As fatigue sets in, work on the deck becomes dangerous.
Amity, Jura, John Lee. Do you get me here, sir? No, what?
It could hardly be a worse time for Jimmy to be getting visitors.
There's everybody thinks the same news aboard. You will maybe come and pay your routine visit by now.
A fishery protection vessel has singled him out for a random search. If his records are not complete, or he's caught more than his quota of fish, his boat could be impounded.
Go get this logbook up to date before he boards. And with us being so busy, I ain't time to make it up yet.
Jimmy's going to jail.
Next on Trawlermen, Jimmy faces the future. and Sandy Watt hands over the wheel to his 18-year-old apprentice.